Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Kuldeep here. Today we are going to learn about few concepts that are related with the XPath in Selenium WebDriver. So as the part of the today's session, I will cover the below topics like what is the XPath, why we need it, what is the XPath format, and how we can get the XPath with the help of Chrome browser. And in the last, we will see what is the difference between the absolute and relative XPath. Okay, so let's start. So our first point is like what is the XPath? So XPath means path specific to the web element on the web page is known as the XPath or XML path. So basically with the help of XPath we can find the location of the element on the web page using HTML DOM structure. So the point to be noted here is that with the help of browser itself we can get the XPath, but they are not very reliable, so it's not recommended to use the XPath which are provided by the browsers. Okay, and I will show you like how we can get the XPath in the Chrome browsers. So let's come to the point like why we need the XPath. When we are not able to identify any web element using the general locators like the ID, class, name, in that case we need to use the XPath or CSS selectors to identify the web element on the web page. Okay, so that's why we need the XPath. Okay, so now let's see what is the syntax of the XPath. So XPath starts with the double forward slash. After that, you need to provide the tag name of the particular web element, and inside the square bracket, you need to write the attribute name, and after that, you need to provide the value of the attribute inside the single quotes. Okay, so this is the basic syntax for creating the XPath for any web element. Now moving to the next point. So our next point is like what is the difference between the absolute and the relative XPath. If we talk about the absolute XPath, it traverses from the root to the whole HTML DOM to reach the desired element, and it starts with a single forward slash. So let's try to understand this thing in the practical way. Okay, so let me use this website for the today's demo. Okay, so say like I want to get the absolute XPath for this search stored text field. So what I will do, I will simply right click, select this inspect option. Okay, and let's highlight this search stored text field. So as soon as you can see like the text field gets highlighted, the properties for this particular web elements get highlighted in light blue color. Okay, now we will see how we can get the absolute XPath with the help of Chrome browser itself. So let me right click, go to this copy option. Here you can see like a couple of options here, and we need to focus on this copy XPath and copy full XPath. Okay, so if I select this copy full XPath, okay, so what it will do, let me open my notepad and let me copy this absolute XPath here. So this is the absolute XPath which I just got from this Chrome browser itself. Okay, so let's see if it is highlighting this particular element or not. So what I will do, I will simply control F, and after that put the XPath which I have just retrieved from the Chrome browser here. You can see like it is highlighting this search stored text field. Okay, now let's see what the definition says here. So definition says like it traverses from the root to the whole HTML DOM to reach the desired web element. So if you go to the top of this HTML DOM, then you can see the starting tag is the HTML, then it moves to the body, and you can see like there are multiple divs, and finally it comes to the input, and it is able to find this web element. So basically it is traversing from the root node to the whole HTML DOM to reach the desired element, and you can see like it starts with a single forward slash. It is traversing to the next node with the help of single forward slash itself. Okay, so let's see thing practically. Okay, so let me create one class as XPath demo, XPath demo 1. Select this public static void main, and let's launch the Chrome browser. Open the URL. So let me change this URL in the my driver.get method. Okay, let's use the absolute XPath which we have just retrieved from the browser. Okay, so what I will do, I will write the driver dot find element by dot xpath. Okay, and as this is the text field, so basically I can input some text inside it. So let me enter the automation here. Okay, let's see it is working or not. So simply just right click and run as Java application. So it is launching the Chrome browser. So you can see like it has successfully entered the automation inside this text field. So that means like the absolute XPath which we have retrieved from this Chrome browser, they are working. Okay. What is the problem with this absolute XPath? So the problem with this absolute XPath is that if developer has made any minor changes in this HTML DOM, so say like they have deleted just one div, okay? So you can see like it is not highlighting the web element search store here, okay? So let's do the same thing. Let's copy this XPath here, okay? And now when we try to execute this program, then see what happens. Okay, so you can see like it is giving one exception here which says no such element exception. Our script is not able to identify the web element which has this XPath. Okay, so that's why our script is getting failed. I hope you got the point here. So we are not using the absolute XPath because when developer makes any minor changes in the HTML DOM, then our automation script will not find that particular web element and automation script will be start getting failed. So that's why it is not recommended to use the absolute XPath which we get from the browsers. Okay, so let's move to the next point. So our next point is relative XPath. Relative XPath is generated from the middle of the DOM structure. It starts with a double forward slash and it can search element anywhere on the web page. Okay, so let's see how it works. So say like I want to get the relative XPath for this search button. Okay, so what I will do here, I will simply highlight the search button. Let's copy the relative XPath for this button. Okay, so to copy the relative XPath, you need to just use this copy XPath and let me paste it here. So you can see like this is the relative XPath which we have got from this browser. Okay, so let me utilize relative XPath and see like is it working or not. And before that you can do one thing. So let's simply put it here and see like it is highlighting this search button or not. So you can see like it is highlighting this search button. Let's write in this way driver dot find element by dot xpath, and as this is the button, so simply we need to click on that. As we have modified this xpath, so we need to make it correct. So let me use this one. Okay, so now what this code will do, basically it will enter the automation inside this text field, and after that it will click on this search button. So let's execute it one more time. So simply right click, run as Java application. So you can see like browser is launching and it opened the web URL and it's entered the automation here and click on search button. It is giving us one message, no product were found that matched your criteria. So like our code works perfectly fine. There is no problem with these XPath. Okay. So the disadvantage is that if developer make any minor changes, then in that case, both of these things will not work. That's why it is not recommended to use the absolute and the relative XPath which we get from the browser. Okay. There is another reason as well, as we are working on this single program, but in the real time there will be multiple XPaths. So it becomes very difficult to identify the element with the help of such kind of XPaths. That's why it is not recommended to use XPath that are provided by the browser, and we need to write the XPath in generic way, or you can say like we need to create our own XPath. So I will show you like how we can create our own XPath for these two fields. So let's find out the XPath for this search store. So what I will do, I will just highlight this one, and with the help of this XPath syntax, we will see how we can create the XPath for this web element. So you can see like the starting tag is the input and it has various attributes like the type, ID, autocomplete, name, placeholder. So let me use this placeholder attribute to identify this web element. So what I will do here, I will create the XPath in this way. First we need to write the double forward slash, and then what is tag name here? The tag name is the input, so I will write the input. Okay. After that we need to start the square bracket, and inside the square bracket we need to write the @. What is the attribute here? Attribute is the placeholder, so I will just mention the attribute as the placeholder here. After that, what is the value of this placeholder attribute? Its value is the search store. Okay, so you can see like it is highlighting this search store text field successfully. So I will just copy it, and let's write in this way: driver dot find element by dot XPath, and let's enter the same text here. So let me enter the automation. Okay, and now let's find the XPath for this search button. We can highlight from here as well. So highlight this web element. Okay, so you can see like it has started highlighting this web element. Now we need to create the XPath for this search button in this way: double forward slash, and here the starting tag is the button. Okay, so here we can use this type attribute. So I will write @type equals to submit. Okay, so you can see like it has just started highlighting the search button, but you can see like it is showing the two elements here. So this is another button that has the same kind of type attribute as the submit, which you can see here, like it has the same attribute type equals to submit. But we don't need to worry, because as the Selenium search the web elements from the top left to the bottom, so for this particular use case this XPath will work, and it will click on this search button because it comes first. So Selenium will click on this search button itself, not for the this register one. Okay, so I will write in this way: dot click. Okay, so let's re-execute this program again and see what happens here. Run as Java application. Okay, so it launched the Chrome browser. So you can see like it has entered the automation, then clicked on search button, and we are getting the same kind of message like no product were found that match your criteria. You can see like our program is working successfully, and here I have created my own XPath rather than depending on the XPath which were provided by the browser. This is the way we can create our own XPath, and we can utilize them in our automation scripts. So there are many other ways with which we can identify the XPath in the Selenium WebDriver. I will cover them in a separate video. Okay. For the today's session, I have covered all the points which were the part of my agenda today. So guys, that's it for the today's session. So I hope you liked it. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you so much.